If you think cosmetology school will make you successful, I need you to hear this first. And 100K a year is not even the it number anymore. We want to be making millions. You heard me. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ifeyinwa Eze. I am a Bronx-raised, first-gen Nigerian hairstylist turned beauty mentor. I've been in the beauty industry for almost a decade. I've been doing hair since I was in high school, and I've cracked the code to making 20K plus months. And now I teach stylists how to grow their income, elevate their skills, and build wealth through their gifts. So let's get into it, okay? So here's what cosmetology school does teach. Cosmetology school teaches you the basics of hair, safety, theory, and licensing requirements. It teaches you how to do hair, but not how to succeed, okay? Before I go on, I decided to get my license in cosmetology because I've been doing hair for years. And I felt the need to expand my education and get my licensing requirements to not only elevate my business and my skills and knowledge in hair, but to also have that on my belt, because, having a license or certification, it shows that you went through the necessary steps to acquire this certificate or license. And also it adds credibility to your business as well. I am also a certified trichologist, which is separate from cosmetology school. From my experience in being in cosmetology school, I noticed that there were a lot of people in school because they felt like it was the path they should take, only because they didn't have the drive to do hair or to actually run a business, and pursue a hair career. They were just doing it because they wanted to just do hair because they saw other people doing hair and being successful in it. Or two, they just didn't want to be in actual regular school and, just do something while their time is passing by. Or three, they just want to do something that was just fun, I would say. And I'm speaking from experience, by the way. And if you want to go to cosmetology school, do not go if you are not passionate about hair and about running a business. Because at the end of the day, even if you work under a salon or you work in the film industry, you are still the brand. You are still the business. You have to be passionate about elevating yourself and your brand before you start thinking about going to school for cosmetology. Because when I tell you, cosmetology school is not what a lot of people think. A lot of people think that cosmetology school is, you're playing on mannequin heads and you're styling hair and you're doing this. And yes, we do, but that's just 5% of the pie. Cosmetology school is not easy. And I'm not saying this to steer anyone away from going to cosmetology school, because I don't regret it. My life upgraded from going to cosmetology school. So I recommend every hairstylist to go if you're passionate about it. But it's not easy. But nothing good ever comes easy at the end of the day. You're learning about color theory. You're learning about sanitation, the difference between disinfecting, sterilizing, cleaning. It really goes in depth about hair. And not only it's about hair, we learn about the history of hair, the different laws when it comes to hair, the appointment process. It doesn't go too much into business, how to run your business, but they taught us about pre, during, and post the appointment. We learned about the basic foundations of hair. So using the Marcel iron, which I hated so much. I hate that Marcel iron. We learned about doing perm rods, relaxers, knowing how to blow out hair, stuff like that, the basic foundational skills you need when it comes to hair. Thankfully, I went to school when I did, because they did have, I know in the past, a lot of people spoke about there not being Black hair representation in the education curriculum. But I'm happy I went to school when I did, which was literally last year, 2024. I went full time, because I wanted to get my license quick. I didn't want any time to waste. I got my license the same year too, literally a month after I graduated cosmetology school. But anyways, yeah, I'm happy I went when I did, because we learned about braiding and natural hair, more natural Black hair representation, which was really good, and I appreciated that a lot. So if you're passionate about growing your business and growing your skill, enhancing your education when it comes to hair, go to cosmetology school. I highly recommend it. I actually had a great experience in cosmetology school. I loved my teachers. Shout out Miss Morel. I still keep in contact with my teachers. That's how great the relationship was. I know a lot of people don't really have great experiences, but I had a great experience because I made it a great experience. So, especially like in this day and age, where you don't want to be known as a kitchen stylist anymore. You want to be known as a professional. We got to elevate our brand. We got to elevate our expertise, our businesses. It's so important. Like, you want to keep enhancing your skills. You don't want to stay at the same level all the time. So let's go into what cosmetology school doesn't teach. They don't teach pricing. They don't teach client retention, marketing, credit and management, business systems, and how to scale beyond the chair. So thankfully, Miss Anna, who's one of my teachers who I love too, she felt inclined to teach us a little bit about business, during my final months of being cosmetology school. We were in clinic. So I went to cosmetology school full time. I went to American Beauty School in the Bronx. I did full time classes. So they have full time and part time. I chose to do full time because I was like, why not? Like, let me get out the way. Like, I don't got time to waste. And plus, like, my business was my main source of income. So it's like, even though I did take a dip in income and I couldn't take as many clients and I was in school full time, it was rewarding in the end because I eventually was able to crack the code of making 20K months the following year. But I was in school and I was trying to balance my business, balance being a mom. I am a mom, by the way. I had my daughter at 23. I am 26 right now. And I honestly didn't even, before I even went to cosmetology school, I was thinking, like, I was contemplating if I should get my MBA or go to cosmetology school. So I was contemplating for about a few months until I came to my decision. So I weighed the pros and cons. So I was like, okay, with my MBA, it'll be good to add to my resume and it'll be good to add to my business because I've been running my business for 9 years. But what am I really going to gain from an MBA? Like, I feel like with MBAs, yes, it's good to have on your resume, or if you're going to work for somebody, and I wasn't working for anybody, I was working for myself. It just didn't really, the pros wasn't outweighing the cons. The cons were outweighing the pros. Like, I would spend all this money, rack up more tuition debt for what? Honestly, I've heard, like, getting your MBA, and I'm not discrediting education. I love education. Like, if you know me, I'm all for getting your education. But it's like, I heard they don't really teach you how to, they teach you the fundamental steps, but you're not going to really know how to be a business owner, entrepreneur, CEO, whatever, unless you're really in it. Like, you have to be in it to understand and to become that. And getting an MBA won't make you a CEO or an entrepreneur, honestly. It'll give you the foundational principles, but it won't make you one. So with the full-time program, I was in school for about 6 months, like 7 months, if I'm correct. And from the last 2 months, we have clinic. So my dear teacher, Miss Anna, I love her so much. She took it upon herself to give us a little bit of an insight into how to run a business in the hair industry. But granted, she was a previous salon owner. Like, all of my teachers, I think 2 of them were previous salon owners in the past. So she took it upon herself to give us a little bit of insight into her experience and how to run a business in the hair industry, and which was very, very, very grateful, very beneficial. She wanted to help us because at the end of the day, cosmetology school doesn't teach you those business principles. So, like, I remember, oh my gosh, we made vision boards, we wrote our business plans. Like, it was great. But outside of that, it wasn't a part of the curriculum, so you're not going to learn that in cosmetology school. She just felt inclined to teach that to us. So cosmetology school doesn't teach you all these things. You would have to actually be in the business or learn from somebody else, like a mentor who has been through all the things that, they've been through to get to where they are and reach success. I honestly recommend getting a mentor because I wish I would have gotten a business mentor earlier in my business years, because I would be so much farther, because I made so many mistakes, but I didn't have someone there to teach me. And that's so important. I feel like in any industry, we all need mentors because we want to learn from those who have done it before us and are where we want to be at. I feel like that's very important. I really wish I would have gotten one earlier in my business years, but it's fine because you live and you learn. And now that I've actually experienced working with multiple mentors, like I can say that like I can see how life-changing it is to be a mentor to somebody. Like, and I'm happy that God placed this in my heart too, to mentor others, because we all can win. We all could win, but sometimes you need that hand to help you, to help guide you. And ultimately, God is the number one guider. He's the one that's going to really guide you through life. But having a mentor as well can really help push you and not make those mistakes that they did, so you can reach success quicker and cut off all those years of just nonsense. Let's go into the real reason why stylists struggle. So a lot of stylists graduate skilled but financially unprepared. And no one really teaches you how to turn skill into income. And that goes back to me saying why it's important to actually be in the field and also have a mentor. A mentor that is genuine and passionate will teach you how to achieve those skills you want to achieve in a shorter amount of time. Yes, you might graduate cosmetology school. You will have the certificate and then ultimately getting your license, but money doesn't come with that. Like, you're not gonna get a $10,000 check with the certificate or license. Like, now after you graduate and you got your license, or whatever, you got your license certificate, now it's just like you're probably gonna be thinking like, okay, what am I gonna do now? Like, even though I've been in the industry for years before I went and got my license, before I graduated cosmetology school, like those last few months, they want you to really start thinking about where you want to go with this. For example, they would have career days, so they would have different companies come to the school, and we would give them my resume and stuff like that. It will help you with your resume and basically just push you to scout to work at salons. And this is not to discredit anybody, trust me, but you're not gonna really make that much money working in the salon. Like, trust me, you are not going to make that much money working commission or working in a salon. You're not. The way you'll make the most money being a hairstylist is by having your own business. And I can attest to that. Like, I'm not even speaking from theory. I'm literally speaking from experience. You will make so much money if you have your own business. With your business, you can expand with it as well. You don't only have to work behind the chair. You can have different sources of income with your business, like digital products, mentoring, selling hair extensions, and so on. But when you're working for someone and you're doing commission, or however, I think it's commission, booth rent. Let's say you do receptionist, like you're still gonna be capped to working hourly. Let's say like $16 an hour, $18 an hour. And honestly, like when you do your research and look at salons online, like who are hiring, you're gonna see that it's only gonna be like $18 an hour, $16.50 an hour, depending on which state you're in. I was in New York, so I think the highest I've seen was like $18 an hour, if I'm correct. And I was like, I've made so much more money in an hour. Why would I want to work in a salon where they're paying me $18 an hour? Like, we gotta think big. Let's stop thinking small. And trust me, I'm not trying to discredit anybody, because at the end of the day, everyone's journey is their own, and you decide which route you want to go. But you really got to think big. How much money you want to think about? How much money do you really want to make a year? Where do you see yourself with your hair business, with your license? What do you see yourself doing? And ask yourself, okay, don't ask yourself, can I do it? Ask yourself, how am I going to get there? That will change your whole thinking on the process. This might all sound negative, but it is not. Trust me, we're talking about expectations here. And I don't like the phrase be realistic, because no, I don't have to be realistic. I can be delusional, but in certain circumstances, we have to be realistic. Actually see what's on the table here. And here's what I believe instead. Education plus mentorship plus business strategy will equal you success. Overflowing abundant success. School should be your foundation, but not the finish line. School is an addition to your expertise. It is a great addition to your expertise. You should do it if you're passionate, but it is not the end all be all. We are not going to cosmetology school and just stopping at cosmetology school and working commission. No, we're not doing that. Because trust me, you are going to stay in a cycle. You are going to stay stuck. We do not want to be making 30K a year, 40K a year. No, we want to be making, and 100K a year is not even the it number anymore. We want to be making millions. You heard me. We are making millions. You gotta say it with me, okay? Because you gotta believe it. You gotta want it. You gotta be hungry for it. You have to hate whatever is not for you, okay? And stay in alignment. It's so important to keep educating yourself, not only with hair, but also with business strategies, client retention, sales strategies, marketing strategies. Like, there's so much more to the industry than just the skill of doing hair. You need to have those other skills to add on to your business to be successful. All the time I'm listening to ways on how to be a better public speaker, how to sell better, how to market better, understanding sales psychology. Like, there's so much to it. And you're just getting started, but you have to enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, because it is worth all of the hard work is worth it at the end if you are in alignment and you are using God's given gift and you're using strategy, working smarter and not harder. So we are at the end of the video, and basically cosmetology school is good for people who want licensing plus structure, and for people who will continue to keep learning after. Because at the end of the day, it's a marathon, not a race. School is a great addition, but it is not the end all be all. So if you're a stylist who already has the skill, but you actually want to make money with it or more money with it, I have free resources and a community link below, and that's where we'll start. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next video.